CNN is fake news, people. But we already knew that. So, guys, it's no surprise that, freaking CNN just can't stop lying to just push their own freaking narrative. I don't know what to say about this. I'm pretty sure a lot of people already seen already seen that little that smackdown that Joe Rogan gave Sonjay Dupta, whatever his name is. And boy, was it freaking bad. Joe Rogan literally exposed Sonjay right to his face, saying, "Yo, why would your team lie about me?" Dead in his face. But don't believe me. Let's go in and watch this here.
Horse dewormer's not a flattering thing. I get that.
It's a lie. It's a lie on a news network, and it's a lie that's a willing. That's a lie that they're conscious of. This is not a mistake.
Yeah.
They're unfavorably framing it as veterinary medicine.
Well, the FDA put this thing out. You saw that. Did you see that thing that the FDA put out?
What did the FDA put out?
It was a tweet, and it was snarky. I admit it. They said, "You are not a horse, you are not a cow, stop taking this stuff," or something like that.
Why would you say that when you're talking about a drug that's been given out to billions and billions of people, a drug that was responsible for one of the inventors of it winning the Nobel Prize in 2015?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, a drug that has been shown to stop viral replication in vitro. You know that, right? Why would they lie and say that's horse dewormer? I can afford people medicine, motherfucker. This is ridiculous. It's just a lie.
I don't think anyone is
But don't you think that a lie like that is dangerous on a news network when you know that they know they're lying? You know that they know that I took medicine. Like, here it is. This is ivermectin.
You got
this
it with
right
you.
Here. Somebody gave it to me.
All right, hang on. The thing is, we're like going so fast. Like I feel like I'm missing.
Do you think that's a problem? That your news network lies?
Well, I don't.
Dude,
what did they say?
They lied and said I was taking horse dewormer. First of all, it was prescribed to me by a doctor.
Yeah.
Along
they
with
shouldn't have said
a
it was
bunch of other medications.
If you got a human pill, because there were people that were taking the veterinary medication, and you're not, obviously. You got it from a doctor, so that it shouldn't be called that. Ivermectin can be a very effective medication for parasitic disease, and as you say, it's probably, I think what, 250 million people have taken it around the world.
More,
I get that.
Way more.
So
way more. Billions of people have taken it.
Can I just come back to the one I want to talk about? Two things
on
the ledger.
You have, before we get to that, does it bother you that the news network you work for out and out lied, just outright lied about me taking horse dewormer?
They shouldn't have said that.
Why did they do that?
I don't know.
You didn't ask? You didn't think that was your...
Let me tell you why he didn't ask. Because he works for CNN and he is pushing an agenda. There's nothing complicated about that.
The medical guy over there.
I didn't ask. I should have asked before coming on your podcast.
But they did it with such glee.
No,
yes,
Joe.
They did. I watched.
Yeah. So you heard what he said, right? They did it with such glee. They literally did this whole thing with, bro. When I tell you that that CNN will damage anybody, Democrat or Republican or even a moderate like Joe Rogan, and tell you that, yo, he's a white wing extremist or a white wing conspiracy theorist. They will say stuff like that, but then again, they won't look. They won't really look at their own people that lies to the people. And here's the thing: mainstream media knows they can do this because, at the end of the day, who is going to stop them? He have MSNBC, CNN, and even Fox News. They are owned by a multi-million-dollar or billion-dollar company. MSNBC is owned by NBC. CNN is owned by Warner Brothers, AT&T. Fox News, I think, is owned by Fox Entertainment or something like that. But when it comes to these companies can pretty much say whatever the hell they want without any repercussions whatsoever. So when all this went out, Joe Rogan, see this guy right here. This is CNN's pharmaceutical analyst right here. So he should outright tell Don Lemon and Chris Cuomo and anybody else on CNN, yo, this is how this right here works. This is how this medicine works. This is how this drug works. This and that. But instead, they kept on bashing on Joe Rogan for saying, yo, people should use horse dewormer, but or horse paste, but he never did. That medicine that Joe Rogan takes, it was prescribed to him by his personal doctor for when he was sick with the coof. He was better in 3 days. You got to also mention Joe Rogan is a pretty fit dude. This guy was a UFC fighter turned podcaster. One of the most influenced, one of the most talked about podcasters in the United States right now. So this guy hits the gym. He makes sure he eats right. He stays healthy. That's what a lot of people should try to do, to eat healthy, because the morbidly obese and the elderly are highly at risk. So those two groups should be the ones taking the major precautions. So when all this came out, Sonjay Dupta went back on CNN because Don Lemon had to make sure they did some damage control because of what happened there, and it's freaking hilarious. It is honestly hilarious how they still think people can trust CNN after this whole thing that went down. Let's go and take a look at that.
So very important. I know it's in large part a tongue-in-cheek interview, because it's Joe Rogan and there's you're jockeying back and forth. But he did say something about ivermectin that I think wasn't actually correct about CNN and lying, okay?
First of all, CNN does lie. Brian Stelter, bro. You guys remember that whole Twitter war thing where Brian Stelter and Chris Cuomo said, hey, man, name us something that we lied about. And Twitter said, hold my beer. Brian Stelter and Chris Cuomo got embarrassed, and after that whole thing that happened, they both shut the hell up, because Brian Stelter said a bunch of things that was lied. When it comes to Chris Cuomo, it was his brother and those accusations going on in New York City, the nursing home scandal. So CNN fucking lies a lot. They had the nerve to claim that they have news accountability. Joke. That's why. Is that why Brian Stelter is calling for Google, Facebook, Twitter to censor more people, even people on the left, because they get more views than he does? Sounds like pettiness to me.
Ivermectin is a drug that is commonly used as a horse dewormer.
Once again, Don Lemon is once again lying, people.
So it is not a lie to say that the drug is used as a horse dewormer. I think that's important, and it is not approved for COVID. Correct?
That's right. That's correct. It is not approved for COVID, and you're right. I mean, the FDA even put out a statement saying, basically reminding people, it was a strange sort of message from the FDA, but that said, you're not a horse, you're not a cow, stop taking this stuff, is essentially what they said, referring to ivermectin. Now, I think what Joe's point is... It
has been approved for humans, but not necessarily for COVID, right? Yeah.
That's correct. It's been used for a parasitic disease, for something it's called river blindness, and it's been very effective for that. But, just because it works for one thing doesn't mean it works for something else. Right. And, there's still a few ongoing clinical trials around ivermectin, but for the most part, if you look at the data, there's no evidence that it really works here. When Joe got sick, he took ivermectin. He also took monoclonal antibodies, which is, an infusion of these antibodies. So he took both those things. It's very likely it was the monoclonal antibodies that made him feel better so quickly.
Sonjay, always a pleasure. I hope this was an easier experience than Joe Rogan. You held your own, though. It's very good.
3 hours. I mean, I don't think I've ever...
Oh, my God. Was this better for you? Was this better for you, Sonjay? I know Joe Rogan came at you very harshly. Was this better for you? Bitch. Fucking bitch.
Spoken to another human for 3 hours before, just like that. It was really something.
Sonjay, thank you. Best of luck with the book as well.
You got it.
World War C.
Thank you.
More
So again, Joe. So again, here's what. So people, here's what happened. Joe Rogan brought forth this guy, and he brought forth the CNN medical analyst. He brought him in, and then when Joe Rogan started exposing him and CNN for what they've been saying about him and saying how untruthful it is, he's a right wing conspiracy theorist. Even though Joe Rogan is, I'm pretty sure Joe Rogan is anti-Trump. So Joe Rogan came in and just pretty much laid that smackdown on Sonjay Gupta. He laid that smackdown on his ass, on his candy ass. So Joe Rogan was Joe. Okay, so I could say that at least Sonjay Gupta is one of the better people at CNN, because he actually went towards Joe. He actually accepted Joe Rogan's call for a debate, a 3-hour debate. You don't see nobody like Don Lemon, Chris Cuomo, Brian Stelter, Jen Psaki. You don't see none of those idiots going on Joe Rogan's show. So I can say that Sonjay at least has the balls to actually listen to other people's opinions. When it comes to CNN and MSNBC, they only want to hear one side, which is their own. They don't care about nobody else's side, and that's the main problem with a lot of media nowadays. They're biased. See, like I said, Joe Rogan is not a right wing type guy, but there's still a lot of things that I agree with him on, but there's also some things that I don't agree with him on. So I don't see what's the problem with having debate, discuss conversations like this. Long conversations to see like where we stand at. But with what John Lemon did, basically coming in and doing the whole damage control thing, just tarnish the little amount of credibility that CNN has. Joe Rogan came in and said, "Why ain't you telling your people that this is what the drug is?" Don Lemon said something stupid to keep on claiming that Joe Rogan was putting out false information, and Sonjay didn't even call him out on it, because CNN is one big Democrat news. They do not want to hear other people's opinions or other people's discussions, because it's all about listen to the science, listen to Fauciism, listen to the WHO, listen to the CDC, trust the science, lockdowns works, all that stuff right there. They just tell you to listen and shut up. That's all they do, people. That's all they ever do. But that's it with this video, man. If you guys like I'm saying, like, subscribe, share the video. I will see y'all next one. Peace.